Hey guys, Bam Guitar Dude here. Today I wanted to talk about a unicorn cast iron company called Dixie Foundry. And the reason for cutting this video and talking about unicorn iron is I don't see a lot of information being shared either online or out on YouTube about this company. And it was a very small foundry called Dixie Foundry out of Cleveland, Tennessee. They actually started in 1916 and began making iron in 1917. There's a really good book that was shared with me called The Spark of Enterprise, and I'll put it as the thumbnail photo for this video. But if you run across this cast iron, I highly encourage you to make the attempt to pick it up, okay? And so here is the one Dixie Foundry piece of cast iron that I own now. This is the second one that I've owned, and the first one I actually sold to a good friend of mine. But this cast iron is excellent, and it reminds me a lot of Griswold large block logo cast iron. You can see the similarities, even the writing, the numbering, just the look of it, the pour spouts is very similar. So that's the Griswold. Here's the Dixie, okay? Now, I don't know why it's so hard to find this cast iron, because they had a long history. Dixie actually became Magic Chef, and later in the 80s merged with Maytag, which we've all heard of. But, you know, one thing to keep in mind with vintage cast iron, really old vintage cast iron, is that the star of the show early on were the stoves, the wood stoves. Dixie actually transitioned their company into making gas stoves and eventually electric ranges. But yeah, so, you know, when you run across Dixie cast iron, many times you'll probably find a very high price tag on it. If you do find it at a low price, definitely get it. To me, it feels and cooks and performs just as good as my Griswold cast iron. So Dixie Foundry, be on the lookout for that. I'm here in Alabama, and I would imagine that I would find more of it than I do, but unfortunately I don't. And a good friend of mine that shared the book with me, he has a spider skillet made by Dixie, a few other items that he's collected over the years from Dixie Foundry. But yeah, Dixie Foundry, add it to your collection list. Be on the lookout for it. If you run into it, my suggestion is to definitely pick it up. It is fantastic cast iron. Not a lot is said about it, but it is awesome cast iron to use in your kitchen. Mostly I use it as a wall hanger because it's a very pretty piece of cast iron as well. But yeah, just wanted to drop this video on YouTube. Dixie Foundry cast iron is excellent. A great piece of cast iron to add to your collection. And I highly recommend that you pick up a piece when and if you ever run into it. Try to negotiate the best price that you can, but definitely pick it up. All right, guys, take care. Bye-bye.